Alright, so we're Dealmachine and we're making social lead generation automated. And like we spoke earlier today, networking is super important in today's business world. So we're basically 4 people from the Aalto University. We have a diverse background from computer science to business to sales to marketing and so on. So basically the problem we're tackling here is that in business-to-business sales, when we're talking about new customer acquisition, there are 3 elements that affect it, mostly. The direction, which is the right customer, then quality, which is sales skills, and then volume, which is the amount of sales work being done. And these 3 components make up, the quality or the amount of sales generated. And basically, the biggest thing that the salesperson himself can, influence is the volume. But something that we can help those salespeople out with is, who is the customer actually? Especially with startups, it's, sometimes hard to understand who is actually the best customer. And actually, in this survey made by CSO Insights, increasing sales effectiveness and optimizing lead generation were one of the top concerns of top sales organizations. So, in other words, the leads are weak and they should be improved. So how does the industry cope with this problem right now? Well, the problem is that lead generation is the domain of, it's a no man's land. Sales says it's the job of marketing, and marketing says that it's the job of sales. Anyway, you look at it, it's expensive, and those processes you need for it need to be well planned. So what people usually do when they run out of ideas is they outsource. And in Finland, the market leader there is Trainer's House. So you pay them 100, 150 euros for them to book you a meeting. The problem though is that, there are cancellations, the quality varies, domain expertise of the salespeople who are outsourced, none whatsoever, and it's potentially destructive for your brand. So basically the lead generation business is huge, and one way to view it is just, we checked out Orbis, the companies doing, directories like Phonecta and stuff like that. So it's $2.5 billion. But we're looking at PR or communications companies because they just seem to be most receptive of our product, and it seems that it's $120 million industry in itself. So basically, how are we, compared to what people do now? Well, there are all sorts of ways to do lead generation, but our value proposition basically is that, we are so cost effective that why not use us, in combination with other products as well. You can do your email campaigns, you can do your paid search, but use us to, maximize your potential. And, like Hilla Knowlton says, we solve their problem in lead generation. So what do we do in practice? Well, basically, like the previous guy said, the internet is full of open data. It's out there to grab, but the problem for a average company is that you'd have to have like an army of analysts to go through that data. So basically, we replace that army of analysts with algorithm. And so we're starting with LinkedIn, we're starting with Google Analytics, Twitter, and we're going to directories. But basically, we're just doing all the dirty work for you. So how does it work in practice? Well, the good news is the salespeople don't have to change anything they're doing. They are using their CRM software, which might be Salesforce.com or Microsoft Dynamics, whatever. They just use their software, and we use API synchronization, both ways to sync it to our database, and we use machine learning to kind of understand what kind of sales result in victories and which ones don't. And then we can recommend more of such segment data companies and enrich them with social information like we saw previously, let's say that we have a company we want to chase, what have those employees been talking on Twitter, on Facebook, what kind of news have been, on the news about them. So basically that is Dealmachine. And like I said, we would like to talk with the previous company. Thank you.
This is good service. Thank you. One suggestion is that when you're taking the reference base as media, then what happens is that the best leads you present to your customer is also available to your competitors. And I mean, the final customer is getting calls in these days when media is writing about it. And I think the focus should be more on to find these potential customers who are not in the media. Actually, I just recently spoke to one company who says that I don't like to be in media at all, and they are highly successful in its area.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I wouldn't want to stress the kind of traditional media too much. Like, I agree, if there's a big press article about your company, you get calls all the time. But like, social media is something that, usually people don't connect to sales, or rarely connect to sales. And the other thing is that because we use machine learning, the kind of lead lists we deliver to you, they are totally customized. They are just for you based on your preferences, your attributes, and their attributes. So it's kind of like this flirting, previously today, that it's based on matching algorithm instead of just handing the same data to everyone. So we're trying to avoid that. But that was an excellent point. Thank you.
Other questions, comments?
First off, I think you guys have a great service.
Thank you.
Second off, what's your sort of rollout plan, and how does your funding look?
So basically what we're doing now is we're doing customer development. We're talking with bigger companies to understand their needs. We're not doing customization, but we're still trying to understand that what the bigger players are willing to pay for. In the end, we're planning to go basically towards the long tail, but now it's just much more easier to sell to bigger companies who can afford to pay the kind of skim pricing, so like 5 to 10K per sale. And so basically what we're talking about is on the left you see the direct sales model, on the right you see the paid search model, which we're going to roll out later, or during the process. And basically the idea is that we're going to drop margins to make it available for everyone once we have fine-tuned the concept. Did that answer your question? Thank you.